Hey, I want to thank you for joining us here on Polk Place. I'm Brian Lacey, and friends of the show, been in a time or 20. They are the Early Learning Coalition, and if you don't know what they do, really you should check it out. Look them up on social media, on the web. They do great things in with the county with children, and we're going to learn about a program. And joining us in studio is Nancy Walker. She's the vice president of the instructional services for the Early Learning Coalition. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And also Belinda Kramer. She's the marketing manager for the Early Learning Coalition of Polk County. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
All right. So for maybe somebody that's never heard of you, what exactly is the Early Learning Coalition and what do they do within the community?
The Early Learning Coalition is a lot of things, but wrapped up in a nutshell, we provide services for families who typically would go without childcare. We provide a school readiness program that gets children ready for school, elementary school, and we provide VPK, which is our voluntary pre-kindergarten program for children who are 4 years old who are ready to learn all those foundational skills that they'll need to be ready for school.
And a testament to what you guys do within the VPK and other things that you do, we had the Florida Children's Museum in here talking about their Polk Play and how you guys are going to be partners. So everybody loves Florida Children's Museum and everybody should love the Early Learning Coalition. But what we want to talk about today is the importance of family engagement. So let's talk a little bit about that if we could, Nancy.
We oftentimes think about family engagement on a larger scale, but in reality, what we want families to really understand is it can be something very small. Research shows that engagement between a parent and child increases their school readiness skills, prepares them for lifelong learning and success. It builds family bonds, and the bonds that are so important between children and family for them to nurture and grow and develop the way that they should. Family engagement looks like lots of things, but for us, we always think about 15 minutes a day. We know that it's really hard to work all day long and come home and have planned time to really sit down and spend with children, oftentimes for today's family and today's community. But 15 minutes a day is really all that's needed, and what that encompasses is talking to children, reading to children, which we know is so important, and even things like singing and dancing together. The more words children hear, the more words they learn, and the better off they are as far as early literacy is concerned, and the bonds that they're building within their family to carry on those skills that they're learning. Social emotional development is a strong one. We know that research tells us that children who are engaged with their parents build stronger social emotional skills, which we know they need in life to be successful not only in school but as an adult as well.
Nancy, when children are enrolled within your programs, how do you inspire parents to engage with their children, to become a part of this, to be, hey, look, here's what we need from you, and here's what we need from them, and we're going to pull. So it's kind of the village that's doing this.
It is a village. It takes a village, and our role is more so to coach our child care providers and family child care homes on ways that they can make sure that parents do know that they are their child's first teacher, and that there's an important aspect of that family being a part of what's going on in the school system with their children. The more they know about what their children are learning in the child care facilities and homes, the better prepared they are to take those same skills home and work on them at home with their children.
Now, some of the things that you inspire, conversation starters. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Conversation starters is one of my favorite things. It's basically a little strip of sentences that you can sit right in the middle of, for example, your kitchen table at mealtime. And on those sentence strips, little pieces of paper, you would write down things like, you know, what's your favorite superhero and why? just simple things to get a child talking. Lots of times we'll ask the typical, "What'd you do at school today?" to our children, and many times we get the reply, "Nothing." "What did you eat at school today?" "Nothing." Things like that. But if you ask these simple conversation starters, it'll probably spawn a conversation that you didn't anticipate. And getting engaged in the back and forth exchange with your child is one of the most important things you can do as far as helping them learn how to talk with other people in their lifetime.
And playing a simple game with them, a childhood game with them, such as I Spy. How does that work?
I Spy also, that's one you can take on the go, I like to think of it. For example, you're in the car, you're driving down the road, asking a simple question when you're at the stoplight. I spy something red. I spy something blue. Whatever it may be, asking your child very simple, quick things to get them looking and observing, and open-ended questions. There's many blue things, there could be many red things, but getting them to engage in the act of looking for them and describing back to you what they see is really important.
Raising my daughter, one of the most uncomfortable things, and even as a grown adult, because honestly she raised me, but anyway, I digress. My daughter, rhythmically, from the time she was born till now, can dance. Dad, not so much. How do you inspire parents to have a dance party when they can't dance?
By telling them that kids don't care. Kids could care less. Just the act of mom or dad standing up and dancing with them, they don't care what it looks like. They just know that it's fun. Make a playlist of some of their favorite songs and randomly, just spur of the moment, put that on, in the middle of the afternoon or right before bedtime, whatever it may be, and dance with them, sing with them the lyrics of a song. Like I said before, the more words they hear, the more words they learn. So it's important.
To add to that story, my daughter's 34 years old, and now this far along in life, just out of the blue, I will send her a song from YouTube that was part of her childhood, and she just... I gotta agree with you there, because she'll either, you almost brought tears to my eyes. The things that you do with them at that age sticks with them.
It does. It really does. And we often don't think about the fact that there are so many sensory ways which children learn. So a child who maybe is not so much engaged in you reading a book to them may be engaged in you singing, because maybe their sensory preference is through music and things like that. So of course, picking up on those things and really identifying the way that your children do learn best are important as well.
We talked a little bit about what we can do in the car. We talked a little bit at dance party within the house, but say you're out at a store, what's a cool thing you can do?
Oh, that's one of my favorites also. Create simple grocery lists with your children and assign them the task of picking however many green bell peppers you need, or red bell peppers, or yellow bell peppers, or having them select their favorite soup and talking about the words, because they might randomly bring you something that you absolutely know they won't like, and reading that label to them and asking them, is this the soup you like, or do you prefer chicken noodle? Chicken noodle starts with a C. Let's look for the letter C. All of those things are engaging. It's encouraging that family engagement piece, and it's encouraging literacy as well.
Belinda, being the marketing genius, as I like to call you, you get
trying to make it fun.
You get to engage with the community, but part of this is only at home. The other part, it takes the community to raise the children. Talk about some of the things that you can engage the community to get involved in these children's lives.
Well, I tell you what, Polk County has a lot of incredible places in the community that definitely families can take their children to. One of the first places that we should all think about, because it's such a nice resource and it's free, is the library. And the library is an exciting place because it has so many books that they can select themselves, like Nancy was saying, let them choose. But they have story time readings, and they can get their own library card, which is again free. And it's an important introduction into the world of literacy, and that takes them to other worlds. Mm-hmm. So we want to make reading exciting from the beginning. So the library is definitely a first stop for families, but also the other museums that we have the Ashley Gibbon Marnette Museum, which is like super nice, lots of art, lots of color, beautiful things for them to look at. There are different galleries where they have student art that I'm sure that would pique an interest. Maybe some of them are future artists. Mm-hmm. But I think also from the aviation aspect of things, because Polk County, of course, has a lot of aviation with our Florida Air Museum has also story time every Tuesday in the mornings for our children, ages 2 to 5, which they have on a weekly basis readings. And just think about going to that place. I mean, there are airplanes all around. There might be some children very excited about aviation. So that is also free to our families. The local farmers market is a great place, which I think is just vibrant. It's just got all kinds of color and smells and sensory things that children, you know, they might go to look at vegetables and fruits, and you might say, like what Nancy was saying, you know, where do you think these things come from? Where did the vegetables come from? What are the colors and how are things grown? It invites children to think about that process of how do we get fruits and vegetables to the table, letting them choose their favorite fruits maybe. But I think that also just, you know, even the bread, I love bread. So when I pass by that bakery part of it, I want some. So kids, you know, you can ask, you know, how do you think that got made? So those are very, very interesting conversations to have because, as Nancy was saying, those conversations lead you to other levels of understanding, and these places invite those conversations. And I also want to say, too, that Bonnet Springs Park is a very lovely location for all of our families to visit. The Florida Children's Museum is housed there too. Lots of great activities happening. Holiday schedules of all kinds of things with lights and sounds and concerts, music, all these things invite children to want to learn more and to just be with their families, create those memories that they will always remember, like your daughter with that song. It connects you, and so you want to build those connections that will just make them remember and also get them excited about learning. Because all of those things that we've talked about, all those conversations do help the children learn. It just increases their vocabulary and relationships with other people. And going to all these places, they see how lovely their community is, and they might want to be a part of that someday. So I really love what we do. I think that we are a place that has resources, so I do invite all of our viewers to visit our Facebook page and give us a like, but it's Early Learning Coalition of Polk County. We post a lot of ideas of things to do with families, a lot of events that are happening that are family events, and also just follow us. And we also offer a newsletter that you can subscribe to. It's free. We send it through email. And that's a monthly publication that also has a lot of tips for our families to further that family engagement, which is so important.
Well, ladies, we are out of time. I want to thank you for coming in and joining me today. And come back and see me again anytime you guys want to promote anything, got events coming up, come back and see me, please.
Thank you. We sure will.
We will.
The Early Learning Coalition wants you to know that family engagement activities in early learning are crucial because they create a strong foundation for a child's development by actively involving parents in their child's learning process, leading to improved academic achievements, enhanced social emotional skills, and a greater sense of connection between home and school, ultimately setting the child up for long-term success in education. Now, if you need more information, give the Early Learning Coalition a call, 863-577-2450, or look them up at elcpolk.org. If you enjoyed that episode of Polk Place, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and even check out the next one.